Welcome to Authentically You Podcast, the podcast that dives deep into a transformative journey of self-discovery, self-acceptance, and self-expression. I'm your host, Kirsty Hankin, and I'm here to guide you on a path towards embracing your true, unapologetic, authentic self. In this podcast, we'll embark on a quest to uncover the secrets to breaking free from societal expectations, shredding the masks we wear, and stepping into our own power. Each episode will explore the questions and challenges that our listeners face on their personal journeys, providing practical insights and heartfelt advice. But it doesn't stop there. Authentically You Podcast goes beyond just answering your questions. We're here to introduce you to a diverse lineup of incredibly knowledgeable professionals who will share their expertise, wisdom, and experiences. We'll bring you thought-provoking interviews that will inspire and empower you. This is Authentically You Podcast, unleashing life on your own terms. I'm Kirsty Hankin, and together, let's unlock the power within and live life authentically. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. We're in this together. Hello! I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited that it is the first episode of Authentically You, and I am so grateful that you're here to get on the journey with me. Learn how to be your true, unapologetic, authentic, beautiful, powerful self. And we're going to take this journey together. I've got some incredible lineup of experts with some incredible stories to help us on our journey. This is going to be a love story of empowerment, of development, of self-love, and I can't wait to get started, and I'm so excited for you to be here. So first and foremost, let's have a chat about moi. I wanted to let you know about me so you can have a better understanding of who I am, what I'm about, and what all of this, my journey is. So my name is Kirsty. I'm an impact coach, and I help professionals, frustrated professionals, or anyone get happiness back into their lives, feel fulfilled by living on their own terms. And I do that with one-on-one coaching. I do it with programs. I've got a membership, and I've got this beautiful podcast that I am destined to get out to the world. I have been pondering this little adventure for a very long time, and now is the day that it's coming to fruition, and I am excited. So my background, let me tell you a little bit about me. Probably the biggest thing that happened in my life was in 2011, 2008, I think it was. I was living with my sister at the time, and she had a fiance and a child, and she had another child on the way. Her fiance dropped down pretty much dead. No, I did CPR on him for what felt like hours, and had a feeling that he was going to make it. The whole time I was just like, he's going to make it, it's going to be fine. And I was very upset, frustrated, angry when he didn't make it, because everything that I knew, everything that I felt was pushing me towards him going to be okay. And I couldn't understand why I was feeling that way. I've been spiritual my whole life. My mum is very into spirituality and loads of different varieties of spirituality. So I've had feelings. I am very good with knowing, and I was just angry and upset and frustrated that I couldn't see the outcome. I have worked on that and got through that. It took me a good 9 years to process that. So I was a completely different person after that. One of the little twigs was once he died, passed over, I became the rock of the family. So I was making people's tea, I was helping people, I was cleaning, I was doing this, I was keeping myself busy. My mother, love her to bits, was usually that person, but she was dealing with the death, which is understandable. 2 days later, she pulled herself together and took over my role of being the rock. So she started doing everything. She started helping people. She started doing it. And I felt completely and utterly lost because my role that I had created myself was taken away from me. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't cry for the first few days because I was too busy helping people and making sure everyone was okay. Then as soon as my mum came back and started being the rock for everyone, I literally went into my bedroom for a whole day. I'm pretty sure it was a whole day. May have been 2 days. I'm pretty sure it was just one. And cried my eyes out all day. I was crying my eyes out while watching TV. Like I just couldn't stop crying. It was just floods of tears coming nonstop. I didn't want any attention. I didn't want any sympathy. I didn't want anything from anyone. So when my mum and my sister came in and was like, "Are you okay? Can I give you a hug?" I was just like, "No, I just need to be alone." And from that point on, I changed. I saw my sister lose the love of her life, essentially. So I automatically took on limiting beliefs of everyone's going to leave, no matter what. I was angry that my intuition and my feeling and my gut that always worked for me didn't work for me. I was lost, essentially. I was lost and I didn't know how to handle it. My sister was grieving. I didn't know how to help her. I didn't know what to do. I was angry. There was so much built up energy that I was snappy. I was just lost myself. I was not the Kirsty that I used to be. And I thought I got back on track maybe a few years later, but honestly, it took me 9 years. 9 years to realize that I was grieving. I didn't take the time to grieve for my sister's fiance. He was a part of my life because I was living with him. He was my sister's fiance. And I didn't grieve for him because I felt like it wasn't my place. It was my sister's place to be grieving, and I needed to support her. Still hard to talk about. So 9 years later, in between those 9 years, every few years, my mum would try and talk to me and say, "Hey, you're right. You never know what are you talking about. I'm fine. Like, get out of my face." And that was heartbreaking for me because I knew that wasn't really me. But it wasn't. I got so used to this new Kirsty that I thought this was who I was now. And it wasn't. It truly wasn't. And it wasn't till 9 years later when I was just over it. I think I can probably say I had a drinking problem. I drank every weekend. I needed to drink every weekend. It was my way to suppress my feelings, a way to, I guess, run away from the real world and have to deal with anything. I slept around a lot. looking for company. I was lonely. I was living by myself. Yeah, there was a lot going on. And 9 years later, I decided that I wasn't at my healthiest. I wasn't happy. I wasn't doing the things that I wanted to do. I was caught up in society's sort of expectations of have a job and earn money and do this and do that, and you must feel like this and you must act like that. And I was just over it, completely and utterly over it. So I decided to start my own little self-discovery, self-love movement. And it all began by, I think it was an ad on Facebook or somewhere. I can't remember where. And it was for the Proctor Gallagher Institute. Now, Bob Proctor is an absolute legend in mindset work, absolute guru. He passed away last year, I think it was. But I have learned so much from that man and his understandings of how the mind works and how to create the right mindset for change, how to get rid of limiting beliefs, how to change your life, essentially. So I started doing all the things that I needed to be doing. I was doing affirmations, I was doing exercise, I was listening to my life script that I created that I wanted as much as possible. I was changing my limiting beliefs. I was getting rid of my non-productive actions. And I decided one of their chapters of their course was goals. And so I decided that I wanted to work for myself. I wanted to be able to work anywhere in the world. And I wanted to help people. I didn't know how. I didn't know when or how, what, where, all of them. I just knew that's what I wanted to do. So at the time I was working for a recruitment company. I'd worked in recruitment for about 9 years. If you've worked in recruitment, you know it is cutthroat sometimes and rough for your mental state of mind. The expectations of you is quite high as well if you're doing sort of after hours calls and things like that. So I decided that I was going to do this, and Bob Proctor gave me an opportunity to understand how the coaching side worked of the mindset work. So I decided that's what I was going to do. So I started doing and learning more about the mind and understanding how to teach it. And so I started doing that part-time, sort of out of office hours, to start my, entrepreneur journey. And it was exciting. I loved it. It was so much passion. I still have that same passion for it now. The ability to help people change their lives, change what is holding them back from achieving the things that they want in their life, achieving their dreams, achieving their big goals, their little goals, stopping them paying bills, paying the rent on time. All those things I was able to help people with. And it was incredible. Oh, it still is, to be fair. And I mean, look at me. So then I got pregnant with my beautiful boy and decided that's it. I can't work for anyone else anymore. I'm going to do this full time. So I left my full-time job, paying very, very good money, and started working with people doing mindset work. Then COVID hit, and that was hard. More so hard for Mother Kirsty. Business Kirsty was still going and loving what she was doing. But balancing the two was incredibly difficult, especially in lockdown. So my boy, Ethan, was born late December 2019. COVID hit New Zealand, I think it was March or April 2020. And we were in lockdown for a long time. So as a new mum, as a first-time mum, as a new mum, this was a mental hardship. I had my partner at home with me, which was fantastic. So he had to work from home. I think of all the weeks, I think it was about 6 weeks, I think he only worked 2 of them. Because obviously at that stage, the whole of New Zealand and possibly the world weren't really ready for remote at-home working. And so they did manage to sort things out, but they didn't need everyone on board. So anyway, he was there. So we went for walks. The first lockdown was okay. It was strenuous having to look after a tiny baby, make breakfast, lunch, and dinner for all of us each and every single day. That sounds ridiculous, I know, but you don't realize how much takeaways or bakery food or whatever you have in your life until you are expected to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, which was good. And we did lots of baking. So then the second lockdown happened for Auckland. So I live in Auckland, New Zealand, and it happened, and we were in lockdown for just over 100 days. A very long time when the rest of the country is living their life, when the rest of the country is forgotten about you, and you're stuck in your house doing not a lot. You have a very young child who is walking and is and got so much energy, and you're trying to figure out ways to burn that energy as well as keep yourself sane. My boy was a terrible sleeper. He's getting better now. He's now 3.5. But sleeping's not his thing. Sleeping through the night is not his thing. So being a tired mum, new mum, having a toddler with lots of energy, trying to figure out how to burn that energy, as well as try and create an energy for myself and run a business, was extremely taxing on me. I had a little breakdown. Actually, I probably had many breakdowns. I probably cried every day of that Auckland lockdown. It was horrendously difficult on my mental state of health. I struggled, and I struggled a lot. I remembered what I needed to do to get myself back out of this. I had been through this with the grieving of my sister's fiance. So I knew what I needed to do. It was just finding the right time, and it was finding, space to do it for myself. Having a child, your child is all with you all the time. Even when you're in the bathroom, they're knocking at the door, as you probably know if you're a parent. So I was struggling to have my own time. It was just difficult. So I managed to pull myself out of that, doing exactly the same as what I did and what I coach and what I teach. And what I tell my clients now is, you may fall back, but don't be afraid, because you know how to get through it. When you have the tools and skills in your back pocket, prior to having situations happen to you, you know how to handle them better. You know how to get through them. You make better decisions. You make yourself better, quicker, because you know how to do it. It took me a wee while through that lockdown. I was in a woe is me state of mind. But when I clicked and went, okay, come on, Kirsty, let's do this. Slowly, I go back to myself. So you have to be, what's the right word? You have to be disciplined is the right word. You have to be disciplined, and you have to be, I want to say selfish, but it's not selfish at all. You need to be looking after you. You are number one. If you are not looking after yourself, you are not giving the best of yourself to anyone. Your child, your partner, your family, your extended family, your work colleagues, your neighbors, your pets, anyone that you are in contact with. You are not giving them your best version of you. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to grow as people, learn, and be the best that we can be. So I've learned a lot over the last 4 years. And in the last, I'm going to say year and a half, maybe 2 years, I have got into even more spirituality. I've got into healing. So I have got my Reiki Master's certification. I have got Light Leaders Academy certification. And working with energy is the next sort of step in my spirituality, where I can understand how to change things quickly through asking for it, through energy work. It could be through Reiki, it could be talking to the right spiritual team. So it could be talking to your spirit, your soul, your ancestors, the council members. You know, there's hundreds of things. You could talk to the money spirit, you can talk to sleep spirit, you can talk to anything. Everything has energy with it, so you can communicate with it. Yeah, I hope that doesn't sound crazy, because I literally thought it was a little bit crazy when I first dipped my toe in, but it's not. It is real, it is incredible, and it has changed my life. I am opening up even further with my knowledge and growth and my self-awareness and self-development. And I want to share that with everyone. And one of the things that I have learned over the last 4 years, so I've done loads of courses, masterclasses, workshops, because I'm a learner. I want to gather as much information as I can and learn from it and share it with others. And what I've learned is no matter what religion or what your beliefs are, everything's the same essentially. Everything is just worded differently. So what I mean by that, for example, for Christianity, if you are praying to God, that is exactly the same as in spirituality, maybe. Asking the same question to your higher self or your soul or your ancestors or your galactic team or the council members. So it's all very, very similar. Like mantras are the same as affirmations. We're all doing the same thing when it comes to self-development and religion and beliefs. That, yeah, it's all the same. That's one of the things that I am still sort of blown away with, that we're all doing different things, but they're all essentially the same. So I wanted to share that with you. What else can I share with you today? My goal is to touch the hearts of so many people and help them believe in themselves, that they can create the life that they want on their own terms. I think on their own terms is really important to me. I mean, this podcast is called Authentically You. So we want to be authentic. Oh my gosh, authentic as we possibly can, because the more authentic we become, the more happiness and fulfillment you're going to get in your life. If you are living the life of somebody else, or living your life through somebody else, or listening to things that you are told are expected of you, and you're just doing it, but don't deep down truly believe in that, or you think you believe it, but your heart says something different, you're not being true to yourself. That means you're out of alignment for happiness and success and love and power and gifts and all the good, beautiful, positive things in your life. So you need to realign and move that back into being your true, authentic, unapologetic self, so that all the good stuff starts happening and things start moving towards your success and happiness and fulfillment. I'm really, really excited to be there. I'm emotional, true, authentic self. I'm really excited to be starting this journey with you. I'm going to be absolutely honest and genuine and open to anything and everything. I'm going to share more stories with you. I'm going to channel things for you. I'm going to help you understand how energy works, how you can manifest things, how you can be better, be kinder, have more love and fulfillment and happiness in your life. I'm going to help you do that by being me and by getting some incredible people on this podcast and enjoying every bloody step of the way. I have a great sense of humor, if I don't say so myself. I'm going to share that humor because humor is important. So I'm going to spread some humor with the truth and the hard talks we may need to have with ourselves. Tracking back to my 2 incidences where I wasn't myself, what I was telling myself through those times was absolutely and utterly excuses every time. I'm okay. Bullshit. Everyone else's fault. Bull. I had all the excuses under the sun. I still catch myself now telling myself some of the excuses, and I'm like, here we go again. No. But now I know how to catch them. Now I know when things are coming unaligned, and I can go, right, Kirsty, time to get back on the course, not that I ever got off, and start moving, checking in with what's in alignment for me. What do I need to be moving forward to? And I will be able to explain that as well. So finding out how to get back into alignment and lots of other spirituality stuff I will help you understand so that you can be the best that you can be. If you have any questions, I will, in the YouTube, you can put the comments below and I can answer them. Or you can email me at Kirsty, Kirsty, Impact, IMPACT, Coach, COACH, at gmail.com. So Kirsty Impact Coach at gmail.com. Send me your questions and I will be happy to talk to you about them on the next podcast or in the next few podcasts. Okay. Send them in. I want to help everyone and anyone that needs it. So if you've got a burning question about anything to do with being authentic, flick it through to me. I will talk about it here and hopefully give you some insight. I'm going to expand. I won't just answer it. I'll try and give you as much in-depth information as possible, because the more information you have, the easier it is. Because another thing that I found, and sometimes people just sort of expect you to know what things are, like getting in alignment, getting your life in alignment. What does that even mean? How do you even do that? So I'll explain those little sayings or even words or things that you don't understand. So if there is something that I say and I don't explain it well, flick it through to me and say, Kirsty, what on earth does getting in alignment mean? Whatever the thing is that you need to. Okay. We're on this journey together. I am so excited to get this out into the world, and I look forward to our next session. Any questions, let me know. Lovely. Mwah! Bye. Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of Authentically You Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and gained some valuable insights. If you'd like to stay connected with us, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform and follow us on social media. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Kirsty Impact Coach, or Become Authentically You on the Facebook group. We'd love to hear your thoughts, feedback, and ideas for future episodes. Feel free to drop us a message or leave a review. Your input means the world to us as we continue to grow and improve. Remember, living authentically is a journey, and we're so glad and grateful to have you with us on this path of self-discovery and personal growth. Until next time, always remember to be true to yourself, embrace your uniqueness, and live life unapologetically, because you are truly remarkable just the way you are. This is Kirsty, signing off on the Authentically You podcast. Take care and keep shining bright.